Hello there, it's the 16th day of May 2024. Good evening and welcome to the 1800 News Bulletin on Radio GIJ 97.7 megahertz. We are coming to live from our studio here at the 32nd Gamel Abdel Nasser Avenue here in Osu. Across the world, we are streaming live on our Facebook feed at Radio GIJ 97.7 megahertz. You can also get all the developing stories on Radio GIJ online. Do well to remember your thoughts are welcome. My name is Ramat Bashir. In the headlines, the University of Media, Arts and Communication Institute of Journalism, in collaboration with the National Service Secretariat, has organized a pre-service orientation for all final year students. We have details as former Mandela Hall President Moses Desire Koyo says, despite stepping down as a Hall President, his commitment to UNIMAC IJ remains steadfast. Also, students speak on the effect of the strike of jurors on our judicial system. We'll also bring you the coalition of concerned teachers threatening nationwide strike if governments do not meet their demands. And in business, minority leader in parliament, Kesewato Forson, speaks on budget spending. And in sports, Black Star Starlets of Ghana trash Ivory Coast in the Wafu Zone B under 17 Group A Open. We have details of these and other stories coming up in the next 30 minutes. Please do stay. The news in details. The University of Media, Arts and Communication Institute of Journalism, in collaboration with the National Service Secretariat, has organized a pre-service orientation for all final year students, that is Diploma 2 and Level 400 at the Ringway campus today. The orientation is to, among other things, educate candidates on the registration process, rules and regulations of national service and other pertinent issues. Our reporter Evans Ajokache spoke to the head of Management Information System of the National Service Scheme, Robert Nilayekuma, about issues of special posting propagated by external individuals who charge fees from prospective NSS personnel in pursuit of special posting. This is what he said.
It's Robert Nilayekuma. I'm the head of MIS of the National Service Scheme. With the issue of special posts, NSS has nothing in our rules and regulations. Special posts, we only give audience or opportunity to people who have peculiar reasons why they want to post set organizations or user agencies for their national service. However, if one entices you with the payment of money with the belief of helping with the special posting, we have nothing like special posting in our rules. So if you want help, just come to the head office, try to see the executive director with your request, and then he will help you. So we have nothing like special posting. Don't fall for any form of special posting. These are miscreants who just take undue advantage of the students for their own interests. So we discourage people from encouraging or patronizing this kind of special postings. We don't also work with on WhatsApp, and we don't have WhatsApp platforms created to hook people onto and for them to pay monies in the name of receiving favorable postings. That is something we discourage.
Meanwhile, let's also listen to some prospective NSS personnel who were present at the orientation and also shared with us what they took from the session.
It was necessary. I was just thinking about the misconception I had concerning the number of months or the year you are supposed to do the NSS. But then after today, I think I better understand it, because previously I thought you could do it for 6 months and probably venture into another business, another work or something. But unfortunately, it's actually supposed to be done for a whole year.
If there's something that they do often, I think it's very good, because going to every school or every university to educate them, that's a very good thing. But I feel the process is very lengthy, and some of the complications, yes, my curiosity has been satisfied, that is good, but I feel there are certain things that might not be necessary, like the monthly going to the district office to do this there before you get your payment. Yeah, I don't think that's quite necessary, but it's a good initiative that they are going to university stage.
Me, I think everything was okay. I got to understand a little bit of everything that they said, and then I feel like some of the conditions they were given are not really something they should be including into the national service registration process. Yes, I think the whole registration process too is too lengthy and it's stressful, I might say.
Those were the voices of some prospective NSS personnel, and earlier was the head of management information of the National Service Scheme, Robert Ni Layekuma, you heard. Now let's do some politics. Former Mandela Hall President Moses Desire Akuyo says, despite stepping down as a Hall President, his commitment to UNIMAC IJ remains steadfast. Speaking on Radio GIJ's Leadership Focus show, the former Hall President explained his readiness to support the activities of the Hall and UNIMAC at large.
Since your platform is a very big platform, state the record that my business with IJ is not finished. There's going to be what I call the unfinished business. And people, in due course, people understand what the unfinished business is. But for now, I have washed my hands from, I'm just assisting the transition process at Mandela, and I've washed my hands from. It doesn't mean that I will not be concerned about matters in IG. So if you see me on campus and I'm here to witness it, doesn't mean that. It's like telling me that Johnny Hughes completed IG and he has no right to comment on. Those who make those comments are really, I will comment on it day and night because I am an alumnus of the institution. That is two. And three, I want to thank every single member of Mandela who reposed confidence in me and paid their loyalty dues to me during the time I was president of Mandela.
He also urged executive members of halls on campus to enhance their communication strategies, emphasizing the importance of vibrant hall community.
You are given a burden of responsibility to make sure that what you contribute your part to enriching the hall. I don't see that in other halls. I probably think the whole system is just the hall just exists. That's what I think they think.
So how would you advise them to make their halls active?
Image and branding. That's the first thing. Image and branding is key for me. That's always the first thing because you see, because we don't have residential halls where people walk to, the way you do your communication about your hall is very important. The taglines you have, the PPC, some of the things, very simple things like what we say. So you say Mandela or someone says to Booth, you say Mandela or someone says I am because you are. Those catchy things, as little as that, are able to pique interest in the hall. So you need to, your imaging and branding must always be on point. You don't release flyers or you don't do communication because you just want to do communication. Every single time you do it, you must do it well. And that's what people call settings. It's not settings, it is PR and branding. That's what it is.
That was the former Mandela Hall President Moses Desire Akuyo you heard. Still on campus-related stories, jurors across the country have declared a nationwide strike to the non-payment of their allowances. This decision is rooted in the unsolved arrest from February 2023, along with allowance owed from July 2023 to May 2024. The duties of the jury is to hear evidence, make findings of fact, and render an impartial verdict officially submitted to them by the court or to set a penalty or judgment. Students of University of Media, Arts and Communications Institute of Journalism shares their views on the effect the strike will have on judicial work in the country.
We should, the first point of all is that we should get the forecast on a daily basis. If you don't get the money, try to get the implement. If you don't get the afternoon, try to get the evening so that you can plan your activities. Another aspect is that those of us who surround the low areas, we should try as much as possible to relocate our valuables so that when we enter into June and the rains come, we may not lose those valuables items that we cherish so much.
We apologize for playing the wrong soundbite, but now let's listen.
To affect their work at large and especially to affect decision making because they play a major role in decision making. So if they are not there, that means there will be a major issue. So I think that it will affect their work at large.
I think it's going to slow proceedings because having the jury go on strike means that the courts the law court is not going to be a complete thing. So I feel like cases would be definitely adjourned, I guess. So it's not a good thing. They should come back.
It's going to lead to delayed in court proceedings. You know, most of these courses, we don't have access to them readily. Some people come from different territories to these courts. So if they are on strike, it means those who are already in town for their court proceedings would have to go back. And only God knows when the strike is going to come to an end. Also, they are going to be wasting more resources, the transportation, they fending for themselves when they come to courts, going back and forth. So I think it's really a matter of national concern that needs to be addressed. And then they should pay them as well, yes.
Those were the views of some students on campus sharing their thoughts on how the judicial strike is going to affect the activities of the judiciary. Now, Chief Forecaster at the Ghana Meteorological Agency, Felicity Ahafianyo, has cautioned citizens to prepare and plan ahead of increased rainfall in the coming days. In an interview with Radio GIJ's Deborah on Morning Dew, she highlighted a projected reduction in rainfall along the coast. She expressed confidence in agency, improved accuracy in predictions, and urged the public to stay informed by regularly visiting the website.
The first point of all is that we should get the forecast on a daily basis. If you don't get the morning, try to get the afternoon. If you don't get the afternoon, try to get the evening so that you can plan your activities. Another aspect is that those of us that live around the low-lying areas, the plateau areas, we should try as much as possible to relocate our valuables. So that when we enter into June and the rains come, we may not lose those valuable items that we cherish so much. And if NADMO comes in to advise us, we issue the warning, and NADMO asks us to relocate, we should comply and relocate peacefully. After the season, we go back.
She, however, urged the Assembly representatives to address road maintenance issues, particularly focusing on repairing potholes.
Just to the assemblies or the metropolitan officers across the road shows that are in charge of the road network. We have a lot of potholes. I think this is the time that they should try as much as possible to do something about it, so that during the rainy season that these potholes will be filled with water, where we may not, that we may not have an idea to get situated, it becomes an accident. So let's try our best to do it. And also, there's no problem in the commercial vehicles, some of them are leaking, and I will plead with police administration to make sure that those that have these challenges, I think they should find a way of staying with these so that
That was the Chief Forecaster at the Ghana Meteorological Agency, Felicity Ahafianyo, you heard. Away from that, Regional Minister for Upper West Region, Stephen Yakubu, says he is on the verge of making a strong case for one central constituent to give their votes to Hajia Hawudu as a parliamentary candidate for the New Patriotic Party, NPP. According to him, he believes it is about time the constituency takes a bold step and gives a new person a chance to showcase their potential and what he can do for the West Central constituency. Hajia Hawudu will be contesting against for the seat, not winning it from Dr. Rashid Hassan in 2020 elections. Moving on, 3 teacher unions, Ghana National Association of Teachers, National Association of Graduate Teachers, and Coalition of Concerned Teachers to stage more nationwide protests to pressure the government to quickly conclude negotiations on their conditions of service. They are demanding various allowances, including the deprived area allowance, extra basement allowance, book data online teaching support allowance, and increase in the continuous professional development allowance. Protests began in the Eastern and Central region, where regional executives submitted a petition to the regional minister, giving the government a 2-week ultimatum to meet their demands. Eastern Regional Chairman of NAT, Patrick Boateng says the government cannot play deaf to their demands anymore.
Of the 17 allowance backed by humanity, we are saying government, we understand the situation government finds, but it can also not go without reciprocation for the government on the demand we are making on them. 4 allowances, deprived area allowance. Most of our teachers are in the rural communities. If you take the employing community of government, teachers are the most employable people on government payroll. And we are found in the most deplorable areas. Every nook and cranny of the country, we have teachers there. Exactly. And it is difficult assessing those places. If our members have taken the challenge to be there, they must be compensated with all the challenges they are going through. That's why we are asking for deprived allowance for them. Apart from that, we are saying that assessment allowance. There are so many things teachers are doing that are not accounted for. And we have put them together to say that we want this assessment allowance. Apart from that, we are talking about book and data and online allowances. We have been giving laptops, but not all of us have received it. Even that one, we are also calling on government to supply to the last teacher by the close of this month.
Now let's listen to Labour expert Austin Gami takes on the recurring issue.
Negotiating conditions of trade is not new. Things keep changing from time to time. Unfortunately, it means there's appear adherence to the procedures that will govern the negotiation when you reach a stalemate, what next, because everything has an end within the collective agreement and best practices. So negotiation in industrial don't matter. It has end. And so fixing and pressurizing itself into the kind of threats and strikes, and so on. In the past, maybe about in this 21st century, in today's contemporary world, I don't see the reason why it should be so. So I'm a little worried, and I'm pleased that with all the caliber of people we are supposed to have, this is a case which we find ourselves now.
That was Labour expert Austin Gami, and earlier was Eastern Regional Chairman of NAT, Patrick Boateng, you heard. More news tonight. Currency analyst Collins Appiah says the Ghanaian cedi will not hit an 18 Ghana cedis to $1. According to him, he is not sure the government will allow that to happen because he believes things are going to be different in election years. He added that the government will strive to do whatever they can do to maintain some level of stability. You are still listening to the 1800 News Bulletin on Radio GIJ 97.7 MHz. We are also streaming live on Facebook across the world at Radio GIJ 97.7 MHz. We are going for a short breather. We'll be back with more stories. Do stay.
We'll be right back after the news.
Welcome back from the breather. Up next is business news, and we have Rashida Ibrahim.
In business, the minority leader in Parliament, Keso Atuforson, says the incumbent government's attitude towards spending budget is one of the causes of the cedi's depreciation. Speaking at a press conference yesterday, he noted that this, among many other reasons, is why the economy is in a bad state. Take a listen.
The commercial banks and forest bureaus and businesses suggest that the following are some of the reasons why the Ghana cedi is dancing. One, there is a strange policy on mixed cash reserve ratio recently implemented by the Bank of Ghana. Two, there's an increase on budgeted fiscal spending, which is fueling demand for exchange rates. Simple put, the government is spending off budget so much that those that they are paying are using the money to purchase US dollars, and that is why the dollar is depreciating. There's again lack of confidence in the banking sector, resulting in currency substitution. Moreover, we've seen a lower cocoa production, resulting in the lowest export in 2 decades due to the mismanagement of the cocoa sector. There's an uncontrolled corruption, obviously, in the President Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Barumia's government. We call on President Akufo-Addo to, among others, one, order his appointees to release the FX that they have stashed in their homes to the public so that there will be enough forex in the market.
That was the minority leader in Parliament, Keso Atuforson, you heard. That's all for business with me, Rashida Ibrahim. Next in line is Sports with Evans Ajokache.
And now in the world of sports, the 3-year-old trophy drought for Juventus is finally over as they beat Atalanta just a goal to nil at the Rome Stadio Olimpico. The goal scorer Dusan Vlahovic found the back of the net from 12 yards away after just 4 minutes into the game. He would have ended the game with a brace, but the second goal was disallowed for offside, and so the one goal was enough for Massimiliano Allegri boys to lift up their record, extending 15 Coppa Italia. Now moving away, Ghana Black Starlets started their Waffle Zone B group stage campaign on a spectacular note as they beat Ivory Coast by 5-1 in the Group A opener clash. Now the University of Ghana Stadium erupted with excitement after Joseph Nabi provided Ghana with a breeze in the first half of the game. Laikison, the coach of the Black Starlets, could not hide his joy after the final whistle as the scoreboard kept screaming the 5-1 final scoreline in favor of the Black Starlets of Ghana. Ghana, the host nation of this year's Waffle Zone B tournament, will face Benin in their second game on May 21st, 2024 at the University of Ghana Stadium. Keep our fingers crossed and expect the best from these great young talents.
So it will help us to see how into this tournament to make sure that we win all our games. Now Ivory Coast is out of the way. We are approaching. The good thing is Ivory Coast will play against Benin. So it will help us to see how the Beninian team are playing. So it will help us that we have a game plan against them. But for us, we're taking it a game at a time. The Ivorians are out of the way now. It's Benin. Our focus is on Benin. We managed to watch their last game before coming to this tournament. We have a little bit idea, but we'll see what happens against Ivory Coast.
That was the Ghana under-17 coach you heard, and that was it for sports with me, Evans Ajokache. Yasmin Rafat is coming your way with entertainment news.
In entertainment, gospel musician Celeste Donko has issued an apology following a recent backlash sparked by comments she made during an interview on TV3's Today's Women. During the interview, the singer and host, Cookie T, engaged in a seemingly light-hearted conversation about the perceived heaviness of Ewe names. The banter by the duo, both Ewes, drew criticism from viewers and social media users, some of which deemed the comments inappropriate and offensive. Responding to the backlash in a post on Instagram, Celestine Donko said the comments were made in jest and in no way to mock Ewes or the culture they revere.
I granted an interview on Today's Woman on TV3, and when I discovered the host, Cookie T, is an Ewe, I just got excited. We started joking about the heaviness of our Ewe savings. It was just a joke, that came up in a conversation. To my surprise, from all the comments I've read so far, it turns out to be a bad joke, to be an expensive joke. Who am I? I'm just human. Chichoba, ame amotama, menyana ba iboma beboboni. Emanyanya ga ba iboma beboboni. Most of the time we go on these interviews, as much as we have a pure heart and a clear mind, it's not everything you say that will be pleasing to somebody. So, this will in no way tarnish my pride as an Ewe. I have proven it over the years in my journey in music that I am a very, very proud Ewe, and absolutely nothing is going to change that fact, from the beginning of my journey till now. Anybody who has truly followed me knows that my native name is Mouse, and 3 of my daughters, 2 of them, I have Ayram and I have Asay. Most of the time before I start ministering, I say that Ewe is a spiritual language. That is the language we are going to be speaking in heaven. And so I encourage everyone to learn 1 or 2. So this is just one of the things that happens with love and respect to all of you. I take all the comments in good faith. I interpret them as the expression of your love, because those who love you are those who correct you when you're wrong. So thank you so much, and I'll keep doing my best. God bless you.
That was the Ghanaian gospel musician Celeste Donko you heard. So our last story, American rapper Cardi B says she will not vote in the 2024 United States presidential election. According to her, she is not a supporter of any of the 2 major candidates, who are the incumbent President Joe Biden of the Democratic Party and his predecessor, Donald Trump of the Republican Party.
There is a $120 million budget cut. There's a $120 million budget cut in New York that is going to affect schools, public libraries, and the police department, and the cops, and the police department. And a $5 million budget cut in sanitation. We're going to be drowning with rats.
Yep.
We're going to be drowning in rats. So we are going to be having a budget cut on these. Mind you, and this is why I said, this is why I'm telling y'all, I'm not this year. Don't ask me. I don't give the resume that they send. I'm not endorsing no presidents no more. $100 million budget cut in New York City for schools, library, police safety, and sanitation. Yeah, Joe Biden's talking about, we could fund 2 wars. We could fund 2 wars. Talking about we don't got it, but we got it. We're the greatest nation. No, we're not. We're going through some right now. Say it. We're really going through. We really are right now. $120 million. Where these kids are gonna go? I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I'm whatever. But what's gonna happen to my niece?
That was the American rapper Cardi B you heard. That was all for entertainment news with me, Yasmin Rafat. Kezia Ifua Mills wraps the bulletin with some international news.
On the international front, the military in Gaza has revealed 5 Israeli soldiers have been killed in one of the deadliest incidents since the war began in October. According to the Israeli media, Troops were killed when they were mistakenly hit by the Israeli tank fire yesterday. It happened in Jabalia in northern Gaza, where Israeli forces are battling Hamas fighters. Troops went back into the town this week after previously pulling out, saying Hamas had regrouped there. Tens of thousands of civilians have fled Jabalia since yesterday, when the Israel Defense Forces IDF launched an operation with airstrikes. Troops re-entered Jabalia on Monday, fighting there in the southern town of Rafah, where about half of Gaza's civilian 2.3 million population had taken shelter, has intensified in recent days. Some 600,000 Palestinians have since fled Rafah, and another 100,000 have been newly displaced by a resurgence of fighting in the north, the UN says. The media cited the IDF as saying it was investigating why they were hit by tank fire. However, an initial probe found the soldiers had occupied a building in Jalabia refugee camp, dozens of meters away from Israeli tanks also stationed in the area. The tanks identified a weapon in the building and fired 2 shells towards it. The probe found 7 other soldiers were injured by a tank fire, 3 of them severely. And that's all for international stories with me, Kezia Efwa Mills.
And this is how we wrap up the news bulletin on Radio GIJ 97.7 MHz. But before we take a leave of you, a recap of our headlines. The University of Media Arts and Communication Institute of Journalism, in collaboration with the National Service Secretariat, has organized a pre-service orientation for all final year students. Former Mandela Hall President Moses Desire Kuyo says, despite stepping down as a Hall President, his commitment to Unimac IJ remains steadfast. Also, students speak on the effect of the strike of jurors on our judicial system. Coalition of concerned teachers threatens nationwide strike if government do not meet their demands. And in business, minority leader in Parliament, Kesel Atoforsen, speaks on budget spendings. And in sports, the Black Star Starlet of Ghana trash Ivory Coast in the Wafu Zone B Under-17 Group A Open. Once again, I am Ramat Bashiru. Thank you for your company. Enjoy your evening.
Wait, people. Come to think of it, I know you people still love Ghana. Now tell me, why do you love Ghana?